Welcome to Payoff Pitch, Action Network's Major League Baseball betting podcast. I'm Collin Whitchurch, joined by Sean Zerillo to look at Tuesday's Game 1s of the MLB playoffs and the Wild Card Series. If you missed out, we recorded a full playoff preview earlier today. That's live wherever you find your podcast already. Big, over an hour, talking playoffs, talking these series. Props, futures, World Series pennant, you name it. Myself, Zerillo, and our old friend, the Ringers, Anthony DeBundo. Really good conversation over there, so be sure to check that out if you're listening to this, counting down till first pitch. This episode, Sean and I are going to go through the 4-game ones for Tuesday, give out any best bets that we have, and if applicable, build some little SGPs for these games with the bets that we like as well. So let's dive right into it. First game tomorrow, we'll go in order of start time. First game tomorrow, Tigers at Guardians, 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Tarik Skubal against Gavin Williams. We've seen these two teams face off quite a bit over the last couple weeks. We've seen these two pitchers face off a couple times in September alone. As of this recording at DraftKings, Tigers minus 169 favorites, Guardians plus 138 underdogs. Total of we don't see this very often. I know totals get reduced in the playoffs. A total of 6 right now, minus 114 to the over, minus 107 to the under. Sean, we'll kick it to you right away. What do you like here? Tigers, Guardians, game 1.
Yeah, can't get enough Guardians and Tigers. I feel like these teams should just play for as many innings as it takes. They could just play one game until somebody gets to 11 runs. We'll play best to 11. Just 11 runs.
3 days.
Can start. He can pitch for as long as he wants. No extra runners, no ghost runners on base or men for men in the playoffs. So no benefit, but yeah, first to 11 runs, I think gets to take a 3-game series. It's probably what it'll take across 3 games total, especially if we're going to be getting totals of 6. I mean, the winner of the series may have 11 or 12 runs at maximum. So in terms of the series, as I already laid out on our futures podcast for the playoffs, I think there's a better option than taking the Tigers game 1 money line, which is just to take their series money line. You can get minus 110 on the Tigers at Caesars. Their game 1 money line is closer to minus 150. I projected their series money line at around minus 120. Obviously, Tarik Skubal is a big part of that. I also like them to win the series 2-1 at about plus 350 at ESPN. You could play that down to plus 300. I make that plus 270. And then the prop that I like for game 1, Tarik Skubal over 18.5 outs. It's plus 140. I think it should be closer to a pick'em price. The over 16.5 or over 17.5, I should say, is obviously juiced up, expecting him to get through 6 innings. He's faced the Guardians 4 times this year, made it through 6 in every start, 28 total innings, 2 earned runs. And as we also discussed on the Playoff Futures pod, one of those earned runs came as a result of a sequence that had an error, an infield hit, a walk, a wild pitch. They got 3 runs against him in the last start without the ball leaving the infield. But overall, 28 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, and 40 strikeouts for Skubal against the Guardians this season. Been absolutely dominant. Gavin Williams had a really big second half compared to the first half. 3.4 expected FIP, 18% strikeout minus walk, basically doubled the strikeout minus walk rate. Trying to dig deeper into the underlying indicators. Obviously, the location plus command a little bit better in the second half. Doubled his sinker usage, but only from about 7% to 14%. I couldn't really find a reason why there was some huge Gavin Williams breakout, and really for the entirety of the season, both when he was struggling and then when he was performing well, his ERA was running about a full run higher or full run better than his underlying indicators. Finished with an ERA of 3.1, expected ERA of 4.3, expected FIP of 4.1. I still think there's more than a run differential in true talent between these two guys. I think Skubal's around a 2.5 guy. Williams at best a 3.5, if not closer to 3.75 or 4. And then obviously Guardians offense performing much better of late. Their bullpen performing much better of late. But the Guardians, still 27th in terms of WRC plus. The Tigers are unfortunately going to face all right-handed starters in the series. It looks like they're lining up Williams, followed by Bybee, and then followed by Slade Ciccone in game 3, because the Tigers actually have huge splits. 118 WRC plus against lefties over the last 30 days, 24th against righties, 18% above to 11% below. So as I said, I do not expect much scoring in this series, but I do think in terms of game 1, because their bullpen has been so shoddy, and Skubal is not only their best starting pitcher, he's their best pitcher, period. I think Hinch has to let him go as deep into game 1 as possible in order to save that bullpen potentially for games 2 and games 3. I'm not saying he's going to risk the game at the expense of Skubal staying out there. I'm saying there's no arm in his bullpen that he trusts at this point more than Tarik Skubal. So even if he's in trouble at the top of the 7th with no out, allows a walk, I still think they're going to leave him in there, provided the pitch count is below 110, and try to let him go as far as possible in game 1. So Skubal over 18.5 outs at plus money. I take that to plus 110. And the Tigers series price at minus 110 up to around minus 120. And if the Tigers win game 1, you can hedge out. You can free roll probably on the Guardian series price at that point. I would make it closer to plus 240 for Cleveland if they go down 1-0 in this series in order to win games 2 and 3. So looking to get a better number than the Tigers game 1 price with the series line. And then it leaves us options if they win as to what to do.
Yeah, like that prop on Skubal. I think I'm going to be really interested to see how AJ Hinch manages his bullpen early in the series. Talked about that a little bit. It's like if we're in the 6th inning and Skubal's at 90 pitches and Jose Ramirez is up with the tying run on first, you trust Skubal in that situation, or do you trust Kyle Finnegan? That's the ultimate question. And given the way the Tigers bullpen has looked over the last 2 months of the season, I think the answer is Tarik Skubal in April, May, June, July, August, and September. But I'm going to be really curious how skittish Hinch is to go to his bullpen in big spots like that, particularly with you say the Tigers' best pitcher with the probably best or second best pitcher in baseball on the mound. So makes all the sense in the world there. I've got a prop as well. I've gone back to this several times this season. I'm a big Gavin Williams fan as well. Did have a resurgent second half, but he still walks the world. Led the majors in walks this year. In fact, 31 starts, not a single start where he had 0 walks this year. Through the All-Star break, he made 20 starts, and he only walked fewer than 2 batters twice in those first 20 starts. As you mentioned, been a little bit better down the stretch. 12 starts, his final 12 starts of the season, he had a single walk 4 times, so curbed it a little bit. But this is a guy who, if we're getting his walks prop at 1.5 and the juice isn't outrageous, I'm taking the over here. His last 2 starts of the year were against Detroit. He dominated in those 2 starts. 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 9 strikeouts, and then 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 12 strikeouts. In both of those starts, he still walked 2 batters each. So we're getting Gavin Williams right now over 1.5 walks at minus 148. I think that's super reasonable for someone who has walked 2 or more batters in 25 of 31 starts this year, including recent starts against the Tigers. Guys, buckle down come playoff time. I think these eyes are going to be a little bit more discerning. So I really like Skubal over 1.5 walks here. If I were betting aside on this, I would be on Detroit here. We both talked about how we like Detroit in this series. Fangraphs has this at 65-35 for the Tigers for this game 1. So there is value.
The Tigers at about 57% for the series as well. And yeah, that's, roughly where I am. So I was happy to see the alignment there. We've disagreement on the Padres Cubs series with Fangraphs, but I was happy to see the alignment with Detroit. And it's like I said, it's clear Tigers favorite game 1. How much of that factors into the series price? And when you math it out, games 2 and games 3, if everybody's going to be bullpenning or essentially coin flips, you could give the Guardians slight favoritism. But either way, as long as the Tigers are close to a 60% favorite in game 1, it's very difficult to get them below minus 120 for the series.
Yeah. So that's where we're at on Tigers Guardians. We're on the series price. No official plays on the sides or totals in this one, but you're on Skubal over 18.5 outs. I'm on Gavin Williams over 1.5 walks. Throw that in a same game parlay over at DraftKings. It's plus 248. I should mention all these same game parlay prices I'm going to mention are at DraftKings. parlay prices vary considerably by book, so always shop around. Let's move on to the second game of the day. Padres at Cubs, Wrigley Field, 3:08 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Other 3 games are on ESPN. This one's the ABC game. We have Nick Pivetta against Matthew Boyd in this one. It's incredible to me. I don't remember if it was a year or 2 ago we were recording preseason pods when he was still in Boston, and you threw out Nick Pivetta strikeout leader as like a 200-1 long shot or something like that. And I was like, Nick Pivetta, we're better. This guy, he's barely a starting pitcher. He's like a reliever. He doesn't know where he's throwing the ball all the time. And now he's a game 1 starter for a legitimate playoff team. Like you saw his ascent coming, and it absolutely came. Great pickup by the Padres this offseason. But Pivetta Boyd, Padres -105, Cubs -115. So the Cubs slight favorites at home here. Total of just 7. All 4 of these games, 7, 7, 7, 7, 6. Low totals in the postseason. -112 to the over, -108 to the under at DraftKings. Sean, you talked a lot. If people listen to our Futures episode, they know you're on the Cubs in this series. This is one of the few disagreements that we have in the first round because I like the Padres overall. But tell me how you're betting this game 1.
Yeah, I like Cubs. I like Cubs series price, and I like the under. I also like the under on outs for both pitchers here, which normally you would say, oh, both starting pitchers are going under. That means the game's probably going over. Not in this case. I want these bullpens involved. These are 2 elite bullpens. We didn't actually mention the stat on the playoff preview. We teased it. We didn't say it. Unders in the wild card round are 15-2-2 since 2022. There's only been 2 game 3s, but 15-2-2 to the under. It might be 14-2-2. I'm pretty sure it's 15-2-2. I'm sorry. It's 15-4-2. Not quite as crazy. Still pretty great.
Still very good.
Still very good. I misquoted the stat. I want to make sure we get it right. 15-4-2 since 2022, 23, 22, 23, 24 seasons. Again, only 2 game 2s or game 3s, both of which involved the Mets. The wind is blowing in here. The Wrigley Field wind systems have not triggered yet, but what did trigger is our wind blowing in pro system that we have on Bet Labs. Lifetime at Wrigley Field, 146, 102, and 19, 59% win rate, nearly 13% ROI, just betting those unders in these wind conditions at Wrigley. Combine that with starting pitchers having quick hooks, and these being 2 of the better bullpens in baseball. Cubs first in expected FIP and strikeout minus walk. Danny Palencia came back as well and did throw innings. I thought he hadn't. He actually did throw a couple of clean innings over the past week as well, which you do like to see before he takes the mound in the playoffs. Padres built for the playoffs with this bullpen, 4th and 6th in expected FIP and strikeout minus walk over that span as well. I am sketched out by both starters a little bit. Pivetta has overachieved this year by almost a full run. He had a career best batting average on balls in play by nearly 60 points, or not by 60 points, but 60 points better than his career average. His strand rate was 6% higher than his career average. His home run to fly ball rate was also a career best. It was about 5% better than his career average. And his expected FIP over the final 2 months was 4.2 compared to an ERA of 2.9. So I do think Nick Pivetta overachieved this season. Matthew Boyd definitely declined in the second half. He had a 4.7 expected FIP over the final 2 months of the season. So I like both pitchers to come out here before the 5th inning ends. Under 14.5 outs for both Pivetta and Boyd at plus money. But I like the bullpens to come in and shut things down. I make this total around 6.5. I like the under 7 to -110. And then I have roughly the same projection for the Cubs, both for the series and for game 1. I make them around -137 or so in both markets. Or actually, I make them -150 for the series. I make them -137 for game 1. So for the game 1 price, I would probably bet them up to about -125. For the series, I would bet them up to around -133. You can get -110 and -120 or even -115 respectively. I think I'm going to go ahead and split a wager between their game 1 line and their series line, and then also bet the under 7 in this game as well to -110 alongside the starting pitcher under props. So a bunch of different ways to bet on this game. But yeah, I do like the Cubs in this series. I think they're probably the contrarian side just because of everybody's hype about the Padres after the trade deadline and the way they shape up, going into this postseason. And Boyd and Imanaga have not performed super well down the stretch, but I actually think the Padres starting pitching has some major concerns too.
Yeah, Fangraphs has this game one at 54% for the Cubs, 46% for the Padres. So not a ton of value on either side in that regard. But I will say, on our futures episode, I said you can bet Cubs win game one, Padres to win the series at plus 650. So if I were betting a side on this, I would be on the Cubs. I do have one hitter prop or two hitter prop, same hitter. The one guy I'm looking at in this game is Manny Machado. If there is going to be offense, Boyd throws that four-seamer about half the time. Machado absolutely crushes fastballs against left-handed pitching specifically. And Boyd's probably most susceptible pitch that he has is his curveball. And that's where he allows the highest weighted on base average is his curveball against right-handed batters. And that's a strength of Machado's as well. The one concern there is that Machado doesn't necessarily hit the changeup well. That's Boyd's best secondary. But I think that if there's a hitter in this lineup who's going to catch that fastball or that curveball, it's Machado. So I do have bets here on Machado to hit a home run, plus 466 at DraftKings right now. And then 2+ total bases, plus 113 at DraftKings. I think there's good value on both of those. Parlay wise, this is kind of fun for us because they're very anti-correlated, especially with such a low total. What I threw out there is if we go with, we don't go with every single bet that we gave out here, but we have Cubs money line under 7. We go with Pavetta's outs under because it correlates with the Cubs. And then we go with Machado's just bases. That's 25-1 at DraftKings. If you want to go absolutely insane with some couch change, both of the pitcher outs, Cubs money line, the under, and then Machado home run, just a cool 550-1 at DraftKings. So if we clean up on Cubs Padres game one, that would look pretty nice.
Just one last thing I want to mention here before we move off this game. I was waiting on umpires to confirm this total specifically. There's another total I'll give out that I was comfortable with basically regardless of who was behind the dish, but we did get Eric Backus behind the plate for this game, career 58% under. And his strikeout minus walk rate is about a half a tick better than the major league average. So a slight pitcher-friendly umpire in this game knocked my total down from, you could say, 6.6 to 6.5.
Okay. By the way, Pivetta, the 5th Canadian to start game one of a playoff series. Can you name any of the other 4?
Ooh. Francis for the Rockies?
That's the one I least expected you to get. Yeah, we have Jeff Francis, 07 Rockies, Ryan Dempster, 08 Cubs, James Paxton, 2019, and then Cal Quantrill, 2022 for the Guardians.
The hardest part was just like remembering who are Canadian pitchers. So Maple, I should have gotten immediately. That's on me.
That's who I thought you'd guess.
For some reason, Jeff Francis is the poster child Canadian pitcher in my mind. I think he got picked really high, right, by the Rockies.
I think he's like a top 10 pick. But the impressive thing about that guess was that you remember that the Rockies once made the postseason.
I remember him starting a postseason game. That's what stuck with me. I was like, I'm glad this guy finally achieved like what he was expected to in his career as a first-round pick, which is to start a postseason game. So,
I know our producers are rolling their eyes so hard right now. I think a couple episodes ago I brought up Italian big leaguers, and now I'm talking about Canadian.
We're just getting ready for the WBC, Colin.
We are. Hey, there are odds out for the WBC right now. USA's current favorite, Japan number 2. Anyway, let's move on to the night slate. Red Sox Yankees game 1, 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. It's the best pitching matchup of the slate, probably by far. Garrett Crochet against Max Fried. Yankees minus 136 favorites. Red Sox plus 112 underdogs. Again, a total of 7, minus 113 to the over, minus 108 to the under. At DraftKings. Sean, what do you got here?
Under 7. Favorite bet on the slate. I make this 6.3. Another pitcher-friendly umpire, actually, Junior Valentine, very similar stats as what I just cited to Eric Backus. Another like 1% reduction for run scoring environment, career 57, 58% under, strikeout minus walk, half a tick, 0.7 above major league average. So all positive signs. I was betting this either way, though. Crochet has faced the Yankees 4 times this season, 27 innings, 20 hits, 10 runs, 4 walks, 39 strikeouts. The big difference between these teams and where the Red Sox lose this series is home run differential and power. The Yankees just have so much more power than them, and in particular in this matchup, even though Garrett Crochet is the better pitcher than Max Fried, half a run per game on expected ERA, 0.8 of a run on expected FIP. Fried career, 0.65 home runs per 9. Crochet, right around 1. So still better than the major league average. Crochet actually has a very high ground ball rate too. It's like 48%. His profile as a pitcher is so good between the strikeouts, high strikeout rate, and also like an above average ground ball rate. But he does, when he allows hard contact, it tends to be a home run. 5 of the 25 home runs or 24 home runs he allowed this season were in 4 starts against the Yankees. They are the team who takes advantage of him. He'll probably strike out 10 guys, but maybe give up a 2-run shot. So I trust both bullpens here. I just need both starters to hold this to 2-1, 2-2 by the 5th inning. And I think we keep it comfortably under 7. Both top 10 bullpens by expected FIP, strikeout minus walk, pitching plus, body array over the past month of the season. Yankees finally shaped up. And also you're going to see, the Red Sox deploy their pitchers pretty aggressively. Not maybe as much in game 1, but certainly in games 2 and games 3. I don't know if I cited the specific split or the number on our playoff pod, but since the Roman Anthony injury, Red Sox 22nd in WRC plus, 86 overall, Yankees 119 over that span, and they're number 1 against left-handed pitching on the year. So it's just an advantage for the Red Sox in this, or for the Yankees in this series, because I think the Red Sox 2 best pitchers are left-handed. I think it's Crochet and Early. Bayo and Giolito going to have to give them some effective innings in games 2 and games 3.
Not Giolito. Giolito's out for the series.
Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, he's dealing with an injury. They said it's going to be Early and or Harrison game 3. So that's a blow.
So the other bet I liked on this series, and it's small value, but Yankees to win the series 2-1 is plus 235. I make that plus 209. So plus 225, plus 220 or better. Red Sox or Yankees to win in 3, lose game 1, win games 2 and 3 potentially, I think is a very viable path. Or even losing game 2 after beating Crochet with Fried, I think is very viable as well, because I think Bayo actually has a decent chance to roll up some double play balls and keep the Yankees off the scoreboard. So yeah, Yankees to win the series 2-1 down to plus 225. That's a small bet. Love the under 7 for game 1.
Yeah, I'm interested in if that, we both like Early quite a bit. I'm curious if the Giolito injury actually increases or decreases Boston's chances of winning game 3 there, with the fact that there's not going to be any Giolito, at least for this wild card series. I forget the injury. Alex Cora it was just a couple hours ago, so not surprising that you missed it. He's going to be off the wild card roster. He's dealing with, hamstring injury or something like that. Not arm related, but.
Did he get his bonus? Did he get his innings bonus?
Yeah, it was the vesting option criteria. Yes, he did hit that. So
and then immediately got hurt. So that makes
sense. Yeah, it'll be. I think that full health, he's gonna become a free agent after this season. So like the under there. It's funny. I again have some offensive props here, so we can get a little anti-correlated. But hey, there needs to be offense still in a game. It's not going to end 0-0. We can hit them both. The 2 guys I'm looking at, one on each side, are Paul Goldschmidt and Jarren Duran. Goldschmidt, kind of an odd choice. I know he's strictly a platoon bat at this point, though. Crushes lefties, cannot hit righties to save his life. Righties have slugged 478 off Crochet's four-seamer this year. That's the one pitch that Goldschmidt can still crush. Now, Goldschmidt's only 2 for 12 off Crochet this year, so he hasn't gotten him. But I think if there is a hitter in this New York lineup relative to their price, it's like, Judge and Stanton are always priced to oblivion for like home runs and bases. There's not real value there. So Goldschmidt was the one bat that really stood out there relative to the matchup. So I have him to hit a home run at plus 550, bet 365, and then 2+ total bases plus 140 at bet 365.
Except Crochet gives up bombs. I mean, it's
Yes.
A solo shot still counts the same as a 3-run homer. So
Exactly. And then on the other side, Duran might be a little surprised for me to pick a lefty against a left-handed pitcher, but Fried is a reverse splits guy. And the pitch that gets hit for him by lefties is his cutter. Duran absolutely crushes cutters against left-handed pitching. That he's the best Red Sox bat. It's funny if you look at the Red Sox lineup specifically against cutters, the number one bat by far this season was Rafael Devers. But Duran is up there as well in weighted on base average, so I like him. I didn't quite go so far as to bet his homer prop. It's like plus 900 or something like that. Obviously not a big power guy. If you want to sprinkle that, be my guest. But 2+ total bases for Duran is plus 190. And relative to the bats that they have there against Fried, that one shows the most value for me. And again, betting an under and betting some hitter props, we get nice value on a same game parlay there too. We can go under 7, and then just do the bases for Goldschmidt and Duran, 2+ for each. That's 15-1 at DraftKings. So nice little SGP there on Yankees Red Sox. Tonight when you're listening to this, if you're listening on Tuesday, let's jump to the final game of the slate. Dodgers Reds. Dodgers, Blake Snell just recently announced as the game 1 starter. Reds, Hunter Green, no surprises there. This is the biggest differential in money line on the slate. Also not a surprise. Dodgers minus 206 favorites. Reds at plus 167. And again, a total of just 7. Minus 116 to the over. Minus 105 to the under. It's going to be tough, whether this series goes 2 or 3 games, to find value on, betting the Dodgers. We talked about the value in the Dodgers on the futures market in our playoff preview, but I don't think either of us are touching a minus 200 right now against Hunter Green, who has been, over the last couple months, one of the 5 best pitchers in baseball, 5 or 10 best pitchers in baseball. So we both have some pitching props here. I'll let you go first. Looking at Hunter Green in this matchup against a revitalized, to a certain extent, Dodgers offense.
Yeah, should mention the line movement first. This game opened Dodgers minus 175, Reds plus 140, and got bet up to minus 200 plus 170. So Dodgers definitely took some money. I make it plus 180, minus 180, plus 180. So I think it's reasonable where it is now. At open, I probably would have considered betting the Dodgers. No value on the total for me. No value on any series props for me. But the Dodgers, having watched them in the past, come postseason time, they say, hi, Mr. Starting Pitcher. We don't really care if you get us out. We're going to get you out first. We don't care if you strike us out on 10 pitches. That's a win for our hitters. Because if we can go through our lineup twice and you're out of the game by the 5th inning or the 6th inning, not only do we win today, we win tomorrow too. And we win the day after that. That's how they knocked the Mets out last year. They just repeatedly spit at pitches in the dirt and knock them out of the game, foul pitches off. I think Max Muncy is probably the tribal chief of fouling pitches off annoyingly and getting starting pitchers out of the game more quickly and more profusely. Dodgers past month, 6th in strikeout rate. Teams who hit for this much power should not strike out in a bottom 10 rate in baseball. Last year going into the playoffs, Dodgers and Yankees both 1, 2, 3 power, somewhere in there. I think 1 and 2, but both were like 10th and 11th in strikeout rate, which was impressive because teams do not have above average strikeout rates with that much power. There's only 3 teams in the playoffs this year that combine a low strike, or there's 2 teams, that combine a low strikeout rate with above average power. It's the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. So I do think this Dodgers team is a pain in the ass to pitch against come playoff time. They faced Green not too long ago, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. They kind of suppressed his ability to do what he normally does, taking over 1.5 walks and under 5.5, over 1.5 walks is around minus 150, under 5.5 strikeouts at plus money. I think one of those, if not at least, I think at least one of those, if not both of those, hit. So Green over 1.5 walks minus 150, under 5.5 Ks, I believe is plus 115. I like those two. Call it, say 10 cents each, 15 cents, minus 165, and even money respectively on Hunter Green.
Like both of those. That's very the strikeouts department particularly is very contrarian, related to just how much people think about Green's strikeout ability, and that I like it for that reason. If I didn't even know any of the other reasons you just explained, so that's really promising. I'm going with a pitching prop as well. I was looking at Snell's strikeout prop, 6.5, which ended up being a little too high for me. The Reds, for all their offensive woes, don't strike out all that much against left-handed pitching. So I'm going with a plus money prop on his outs total, 15.5, the over at plus 125. Kind of surprising. I mean, Snell, for all of his success in his career, he's been known as, that 5-and-dive guy, right? But he's been pitching to more length down the stretch. Dave Roberts been leaning on him a little bit more. He's gone at least 6 innings in 3 straight starts. He's gone over 15.5 outs in 6 of his 11 starts this year. And we talked about this in the playoff preview. The Dodgers bullpen is not what it was, in previous playoff runs. Now, they're going to have some reinforcements for the playoffs. Roki Sasaki has looked like an elite closer in his 2 relief appearances this weekend. It'll be interesting to see who all they add to that roster. But I think Dave Roberts, similar to AJ Hinch, I think he's going to be a little bit skittish to go to his bullpen early in a close game. I think he's going to trust his horses, and Snell is one of his horses. He's not been known as that in previous playoff runs with the Rays, with the Padres. It's 5 innings and get out of there. You remember the controversial Kevin Cash pull all those years ago, but this seems like a situation where Roberts is going to let him go. 15.5, especially against an offense as porous as Cincinnati's is. If this is the Phillies, sure, maybe get him out of there. But if it's a 3-1 game in the 6th inning, I could totally see him letting Snell ride this out. And so I think at plus money, that's too good to pass up. So Snell over 15.5 outs, plus 125. I like that.
Cosign. I looked at that for a while, and the only reason I didn't bet it is because of the name being Blake Snell. If he was John Smith and I didn't have, the past trauma of watching him get pulled at 15 outs, 100%, I would be betting it. So, yeah, I think you're absolutely on the right side, and getting plus money on it's certainly nice.
Yeah, so Green strikeouts under, walks over, Snell outs over. It's kind of a nice one. Strikeout prop, walks prop, and outs prop. DraftKings 6-1 if you want to parlay those 3 together.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I was gonna ask you next, Sean. Of all the SG, I know you're not a parlay guy, but of all the parlays we built, same game parlays of these 3 games, what's the one that you would recommend the most?
And it's not only are the odds nice, it's 3 angles I like. It's also just kind of a fun one because we got 3 different styles of pitching props looped together. So yeah, those three are pretty nice.
And one final one for you, if you want to go the oops all unders parlay tomorrow, go with the under on all 4 games tomorrow. That's 13-1 at DraftKings. So
which one goes over?
Yeah,
right. They're not all going under. Which one of these goes over?
I think if one goes over, it's Red Sox Yankees, and it's because the Yankees either bullpen, yeah, Camilo Doval comes out and gives up a grand slam to Rob Refsnyder,
I'm legitimately concerned about them sending Goldilocks balls to Yankees Red Sox and just saying, have fun, kids. We'd love to see. Which is the ABC game though is Cubs Padres, correct?
Yes.
Be wary of when they put Red Sox Yankees on ABC on Saturday or Sunday. I guarantee you they're sending juice balls to that game. I'm not actually saying this in terms of a guarantee, but they also know October Aaron Judge is coming. So we joked about it, but you get September Aaron Judge for one more day, and then Aaron Judge officially turns into a pumpkin. So maybe that's when they send the juice balls, Saturday and Sunday.
I was curious So obviously, Red Sox Yankees is the premier series for their coverage. I just brought up the announcers to see how a lot of times that's how you know how much they value a series is by which announcers they send there. Red Sox Yankees obviously gets the Carl Ravitch, David Cohn, Eduardo Perez, Buster Olney, and then they've got Boog Scambi and Doug Glanville are actually in LA for the Dodgers, and then Sean McDonough, Todd Frazier are in Cleveland, and Kevin Brown, Jessica Mendoza are in Chicago. I didn't know Kevin Brown was doing the MLB playoffs. I really like him. If you watch the Orioles on MLB at Bat App or whatever.
Justice for Kevin Brown.
Yeah. One last thing, just because it broke about 20 minutes ago, you mentioned Max Muncy as being the guy who wears down pitchers. He is going to be available for the wildcard round. Missed the last 2 games of the regular season with a lower body injury. I don't know what is this hockey, but he told reporters about 20 minutes ago that he's good to go. So expect him to be on the wildcard roster and in the starting lineup.
But no Will Smith, right?
No Will Smith. I don't think that's been officially announced, but Dave Roberts, last I read, has not ruled him out for the wildcard series. Maybe it's a mid-series change, if anything, but I don't think anyone's expecting him to play.
Can I tell you the best headline I've ever seen?
Sure.
Dodgers leave all-star off wildcard series roster. Who do you think that's about?
Kershaw?
Yep.
That's some clickbait if I've ever seen one.
That is some clickbait headlining right there. Beautifully done.
All right. So that's it. Those are our 4 games. Just a quick reminder, don't forget to sign up for an Action Pro account. Real-time pick alerts from experts like Sean Zerillo, Derek Carty, myself, our entire Action Network team of experts. Plus, you can access our pro projections powered by Sean Kerner and our predictive analytics team. Just go to actionnetwork.com/pro. You get $20 off the annual price for the promo code Payoff20. Don't miss out on the best bets at the best prices. Visit actionnetwork.com/pro. Use promo code Payoff20 to get $20 off a year of Action Pro. But that'll do it for today's episode of Payoff Pitch. Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to tail some of the bets from today's episode, look for the quick slip links in the episode description or visit actionnetwork.com/bet now. Don't forget to download the free award-winning Action Network app. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you listen to the podcast. We are coming down to the wire here of 6 months of podcasts, so any ratings and reviews really help us out. It's playoff time. We're going to be with you 5 days a week for the whole month of October with Best Bets. Very excited about that. We also have our new AI Quick Slip bot on X. Just tag Playbook at Playbook. Tell it to grab whatever bets you're looking for. It'll create a quick slip link for you in a matter of seconds. Really cool tool we have there on social media for you. We'll be back with more best bets for Game 2 Wednesday. That episode might also be out for you Tuesday night. We know we'll have 4 Game 2s on Wednesday. We don't know how many games we'll have on Thursday, but whatever comes our way, we will have more episodes for you. So be sure to tune in. For Sean Zerillo, I'm Collin Whitchurch. Thanks for listening to Payoff Pitch, Action Network's MLB betting podcast, and good luck with all of your bets.